Yes, and it starts here in Kansas City. The city of fountains getting set for this AFC West matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs on a sticky night at 87 degrees and humidity is high and a possible thunderstorm in the second half of this game. Now the Chiefs won the toss and have elected to defer. They're going to send it down to the Broncos to get this started.
That's right. Keep the crowd into it. I think that's why Andy Reid turned it down to put that Broncos offense out there. Crowd noise and a talented defense Kansas City has also.
Chiefs with an opening win down in Houston. Denver a home victory. Hard-fought battle it was against Baltimore. Cairo Santos to kick. Andre Caldwell is back deep for the Broncos. Santos delivers the touchback. Well, Peyton threw it 40 times last Sunday, Phil, and I don't think you're looking for anything close to that tonight.
No, tonight will be the exact opposite, because last week they felt like they couldn't run the ball against the Baltimore Ravens, and they couldn't. Tonight, Peyton's going to huddle up more. They're going to run Gary Kubiak's offense. That means more runs, 2 tight ends, play action passes, and look for that big play action pass down the field when the opportunity is there.
You're also going to see Manning under center a lot more than the gun we saw Sunday, and with 2 tight ends in, they give it to Anderson. He's got a wonderful hole on the first play of the game. And there's Eric Berry who gets the start, but Anderson able to take it out there for 14.
Beautiful double team on the right. Coming around, Evan Mathis, number 69, gets the block inside. He was the big free agent pickup late in preseason. Very unhappy with the way he played last week. That's a nice start for an offensive lineman and this offense running the ball like that.
And Anderson wasn't happy with his production last week either. Held to only 29 yards. He got about half that total on his first carry tonight and has another one here. And he's met by Houston and DeVito, who's a great run stopper right at the line of scrimmage. Gary Kubiak, a winner in his debut on the Denver sideline as the head coach, but you do have this, if you will, merging of different offensive philosophies, what Peyton's done his whole career, and the way Kubiak likes to do it.
Maybe a little merging. This is Gary Kubiak's offense. Everybody, that's what we're going to see. Peyton Manning's not in charge of the offense anymore for the Denver Broncos. It's Gary Kubiak and what he likes to do.
A 2nd and 10, they give it again to Anderson, and it's a gain of 2. If he's not in control, talking about Peyton, of this offense, what do you think the last time was in his career when he didn't have control of the offense?
Well, you know, it's strange. He's got to adapt to this new way of playing, and you and I were talking about it, and I think we came up with this. Probably the 2nd year of his career when he took over the offense. He had Tom Moore as an offensive coordinator down in Indianapolis.
Going to go to the gun here. On 3rd and 9, they bring in Norwood as the 3rd receiver. Peyton's first pass, complete, but well short of the first. Sanders, the recipient. Sanders, who caught 5 balls last week on 3rd down for conversions, but did not run a deep enough route this time, and the Broncos will come off the field.
Yeah, what they were doing, 3rd and long. Look what everybody is here in the back. They faked the blitz, and they're going to let Peyton Manning throw it short, and they come up and make the tackle. That's what you want to do on 3rd and long. Well done by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Got the Colquitt brothers punting on each side here tonight. This is Britton, the younger brother by almost 3 years. Last week averaged 52 yards a punt against the Ravens. DeAnthony Thomas comes up to about the 13. And work that left sideline, out of bounds near the 20. 45-yard punt, 6-yard return. Broncos pick up 22 yards on their first possession, but forced to punt. We'll see the Chiefs offense next. And the Chiefs break huddle. Hasn't thrown an interception in his last 125 throws. He's thrown the fewest in the league since 2010. And their first snap goes to Charles. Sidesteps a hit and somehow slides out to about the 27 for a run of 6. Couple of defenders had a play on him early.
Yeah, they did. Little misdirection, fake the reverse, gives Jamal Charles a little cutback lane, and hey, the speed of the Broncos defense, it kind of showed up right there because they stopped. That could have been a big home run, but they recovered after being fooled by the fake reverse.
And Von Miller finally grabbed him by the ankles. Ware is out for this second down snap. It's 2nd and 4. And it's back to Charles up the middle for the first down. Shane Ray came in for Ware, made the tackle, but another 6-yard run for Jamal Charles in his 8th year out of the University of Texas. He's an all-time rusher in Chiefs history.
They do a great job with Jamal Charles, Jim, in this offense. And what I mean by that, they don't just plow him up inside all the time. They get him on the edges. They get him in the pass game. They use formations because they want to preserve him and not let him get beat up, and so he can make it through the season, of course.
So dangerous with the screen game. And we got a flag. Pre-snap call here. Walt Anderson.
Right to the snap. Ball start, number 75, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And Walt Anderson celebrating his 20th season as an NFL referee. His crew is the most experienced of all the crews in the league with 102 combined years of service. So Ware comes back after missing a snap. And the man who had replaced him, their first rounder out of Missouri, Shane Ray, made the tackle on that previous play. But they back him up 5, 1st and 15. Marcus Ware is mic'd up tonight. Here he comes after Smith. The pass complete. It's James O'Shaughnessy, the rookie out of Illinois State, with a flag out. They picked up 24.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 94, defense, making forcible contact low to the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So they'll add up another 15 after the 24-yard pickup, and there's no question Ware went low on Smith.
Yeah, he did. Good thing Alex Smith has that bent front leg. That kind of saves a quarterback when you throw it properly. That time he got hit low and survived. But they used those 3 tight ends in a couple different looks. And that time with the play action fake, Denver turned around. They could not pick up all the guys. That's why O'Shaughnessy was wide open.
O'Shaughnessy taken in the 5th
Please
round this
reset
year.
the game clock to 10:48.
With his first
10:48
NFL
on the
catch.
game clock.
Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every story, every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now.
Well, when you watch Kansas City, Andy Reid's one of those coaches. They like to have that play sheet. Their first 15 plays, it's usually a lot of formations, very deceptive, and they're going to give the defense things they have not seen on film so far.
Well, and Kelsey split wide to the left, and Smith looked that way and goes right. And he's got the hook up with Jeremy Maclin, the former Eagle who signed with the Chiefs back in March, getting reunited with his former coach. Andy Reid picks up 12.
Well, you got a great pass rush. We know that about the Denver Broncos. But this week, they're not facing the Baltimore Ravens, where you kind of know it's a static offense, doesn't do a lot. Tonight, the screens, the quick passes, the run game, everything involved. It's going to be harder for Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware just to come after the quarterback.
Inside the 20 by the nose of the football. First down carry goes to Charles. He's to the 10, and Ware rides him down near the 8. Ben Grubbs helped open up a huge alley, and a flag is thrown in the back end.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 98, defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Darius Kilgo, the rookie from Maryland, flagged for that, and that'll set up Kansas City inside the 5.
Yeah, 2 big plays, starting this 2 big penalties by the Broncos. Kilgo came into the game last week, a rookie, number 98, played very well. Ben Grubbs on the lead block up inside. Kilgo fell on the pile a little too late.
First and goal from the 3. Looked like Denver jumped. Charles knocked down in the backfield as Miller tried to anticipate the snap. And he's going to be flagged for it.
Offside, number 58. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Von Miller down near the goal line, trying to make that play quick, anticipate the snap count, and just a little too quick there.
3 defensive penalties on this drive. 3 tight ends for the Chiefs. That's Kelsey, O'Shaughnessy, and Harris.
Could be a screen, 3 tight ends to the left.
They like a bubble screen play with Kelsey, but they're going to go to the other side, and Charles backs up 3 yards to make the catch. This Chiefs team, of course, has gone so long without a wide receiver catching a touchdown. Since the start of last season, because you got to go back to the 13 season when Dwayne Bowe caught the last touchdown by a Chiefs wide receiver. There have been 590 touchdowns recorded by wide receivers.
So we bring it up to them, of course, and what do you think they say?
They don't care.
We really don't care. But the last, it was a double screen. Alex Smith picked the wrong side. Travis Kelsey had a good chance to score to his left.
And Kelsey with Ward watching him, and here's the throw, and it's out of reach for Jeremy Maclin, as the Broncos defense has tightened on these last 2 snaps.
Yeah, a little too quick that time. Alex Smith has got to read the running back in the flat. Watch 87 as he comes inside and hooks up. He tries to get rid of it quick, and there's nobody there to cover Travis Kelsey. So early in the game, not unusual for quarterbacks to be fast in their decision making, and especially when you're playing a team in the back of your mind as a quarterback, you know they can get after the passer every single play.
This Broncos defense that did not allow a touchdown last Sunday. 3rd and goal from the 5. They swing it over to Charles. Charles with a couple of defenders there. The ball is out, and it's recovered by Darian Stewart, who saved the game last Sunday with an interception in the final half minute. Knocked loose by David Bruton. Wow, all of that down the field for the Chiefs, the beneficiaries of a couple of big penalties. They not only stall inside the 5, they turn it over. Stewart with the recovery. A lot of disappointment inside Arrowhead as the Chiefs, nothing materialized in the end. They cough it up, and here come the Broncos with a sack turned in by the Chiefs defense. DeVito is the one who gets to Manning.
Well, it looked like there was absolutely, I hate that phrase, they're not on the same page, but Emmanuel Sanders, I think Peyton Manning's looking for a little double move on the outside. It took too long, and then finally Mike DeVito got there to get the sack.
Mike DeVito has already had a nice stop at the line of scrimmage on a rushing play. Now has the sack. He missed almost all of last season, injured week 1 last year with an Achilles injury. 2nd and 14. And it's Anderson. Again clogged up. No gain. Houston coming up along with Derek Johnson, who's moving in on 1,000 career tackles. Putting the Broncos in a precarious situation here, Phil. 3rd and 14 from the 4.
Yeah, well, the play is to be safe, be careful, draw play, screen, but the crowd noise, terrific pass rushers, backed up, all going against the Broncos offense right now.
Manning calls the timeout. What did he see there?
Well, just the play clock was against him. He sees the defense. Time you're thinking and to get everything in order, it was too much. That's why he called a timeout, and it's a good timeout because the position on the field and where we are here early in the game.
Yeah, it's a crucial play coming up, particularly as uneven as the Broncos offense has been here at the start of the season. Well, you see what Peyton did up until he got injured against San Diego last year. It was once again those Star Wars kind of numbers before they came back down to earth. He just wasn't 100%. Just couldn't shake off that injury, and said it went well into the offseason, another at least 3 weeks to a month before everything was back to normal. Here he's in the gun, standing in the end zone on 3rd and 14. And he's going deep. Down the field and trying to hook up with Sanders. Fleming on the coverage.
You know, Jim, that's a safe play. When you're backed up, to throw it deep down the field is about as safe as it can come. You just want to get rid of the football quick enough to make sure the rush doesn't get there. But if Peyton Manning throws this up in the air a little higher, Emmanuel Sanders is going to run under it and catch this ball. Now, when he throws it deep, his motion is great. He throws beautiful spirals, and you can see that right there. Emmanuel Sanders, fast. You've got to give him a lot of cushion when he takes off down the field.
Colquitt 7 yards deep in the end zone. Sends it deep to the 40. And Thomas. A flag is out. It's going to back up the Chiefs. Todd Davis on the tackle, 56-yard boot. 3-yard run back, but add it all up with the penalty, no doubt, going against the Chiefs. It's going to be like a 66-yard change of field position here.
Yeah, it could be a blind side hit. That's what it looked like. It was close.
They're having a discussion whether or not Charkandrick West did, in fact.
During the return, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 35, receiving team. Blindside block high. 15-yard penalty. Be first down, Kansas City. Timeout.
It is on West. Chiefs retreat to about the 25. Docks the Chiefs back 15 yards to the 27. Carry for Charles. Wiggles out to the 30 for 3. I mentioned earlier DeMarcus Ware is mic'd up, and let's see what he has to say early.
Thursday night, everybody watches. It's like a Monday night game.
Let's give him something to watch.
Let's give him something to watch, baby.
Let's give him something to watch, he says. And it's a 2nd and 7 for the Chiefs as they load up the backfield. Thomas is coming out in motion. Smith, middle of the field, he's got Kelce. Kelce hit by Ward at the 45, but Travis Kelce with his first catch goes for 16.
That's about as long as you can hold the football, too, when you play this defense. DeMarcus Ware gets a big hit on Alex Smith. And what they've done so far, Jim, they're running the football up the middle. Alex Smith getting rid of the football as fast as he can because they don't want the two pass rushers to destroy the game.
We saw Ware last Sunday in the backfield with Flacco throughout that game. He looks like he's 5 years younger. 1st and 10, and pre-snap flag again.
False start, number 87, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, Travis Kelce, he has some big personality, and he brings a lot to this team emotionally. Last week, just look at some of the next-gen stats he ran during the course of that game. Over 1,000 yards.
He's a tight end, so the sideline's not his enemy in a lot of formations. He gets one of the best matchups on the field. Why? Because usually he's going to have a linebacker or a safety on him, and he's too big and fast, no matter who gets out there and matches up with him.
Had 6 catches for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. As Smith is in trouble, and he gets dropped back at the 35, and there's Ware again. DeMarcus Ware, he's reunited now with Wade Phillips. Of course, they had 3+ years together down in Dallas.
Well, what did he tell Von Miller when Wade Phillips was hired as a defensive coordinator? He goes, everything is going to change for us because the 3-4 defense allows DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller to go after the quarterback much more than they did in the 4-3 defense they played the past few years.
Wade Phillips bringing a positive message to this Denver defense. His 2nd stint as the D coordinator with the Broncos goes back a quarter century ago the first time around. 2nd and 19. From the pocket, in trouble again, and a flag is out. Might be called on Grubbs as Von Miller tosses Smith to the turf.
Man, it falls apart fast.
Holding number 66, offense. A penalty is declined. It's third down.
Von Miller, he's been in the league long enough. He's got the experience. We see the talent. He's top of your screen. And now he's in a defense that really fits that talent. And we're going to see it really blossom this year, maybe more than we ever have in his career so far.
That is his 50th career sack, the third fastest to ever get to 50.
How about last week? He disrupted the game from start to finish. I forgot his stats. They were nothing, but he absolutely played great. Another example that statistics lie in the NFL.
Thrown over the head with more pressure in the area of Wilson. And after moving it so effectively inside the 5 the first time, only to cough up the football, this time nothing worked right for the Chiefs offense.
Now we know why they're trying to run it. Throw screens, get rid of it quick. No matter how good you are up front, those two pass blockers are going to be almost impossible to block on a consistent basis.
Dustin Colquitt. His first punt of the night. Sanders watching it as it bounds in the field of play. And that is a beautiful punt by Dustin Colquitt that's down near the 10-yard line. 58-yard boot. Peyton Manning coming out for the third time. 3.5 to go, first quarter. Stepping down after 30 years and 5 state titles at the end of this year. His team already 4-0. Congratulations, coach. From the 11, play action. Coming after Manning. He got hit when he threw it. And making a play on it was Peters. Sanders was the target. And Tamba Hali was the one who affected that throw.
This is what they think they can do. Big play action. Let Peyton Manning get some room so he can step up in the pocket and deliver the football down the field. Emmanuel Sanders looked like he was going to get there. Very good play by the defensive back.
Wow, his head got bounced around a little bit. When we met with Peyton yesterday, he said he was sore. Last week he was sacked 4 times and knocked down another 9 times. Short week to recover. 2nd and 10. And Anderson able to scamper out for about 3, setting up 3rd and 7. If one pill could make you a genius, what would you do? Don't miss the series premiere of Limitless, Tuesday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS.
You and I have done a lot of games with Peyton Manning as a quarterback in Indy and in Denver. Between the last 2 realistic plays or games, San Francisco in the preseason and last week, the number of hits and number of sacks usually takes half the year to see that. This offensive line, a lot of mental mistakes last week. That first one there was physical.
3rd and 7, and they're coming after him. The blitz, the throw, the completion to his 3rd down favorite, that being Emmanuel Sanders for the first down.
That's Jamel Fleming, number 30. Nice job here. It's a blitz up inside. Peyton Manning saw it, and he just automatically drifted to his left to give himself a throwing lane. The blitz was not picked up.
A really good throw by Peyton on that one.
Very good throw. But once again, there's the blitz and somebody coming free to the quarterback.
Ronnie Hillman's in the game. The fake to him, and Manning looking long. Looking way down the field to Sanders, and it's knocked out of his hands by Parker. Oh, just when it looked like it was going to be caught. What a play by Parker to reach in and bat it down. Flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Holding number 50, defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
But Jim, let's look at the pattern. Here he goes down the field. They're not going to be fooled. The safety's going to get back there, but he loses the football. So Peyton Manning does the right thing. He throws it across the field, and Sanders cuts under Parker their time, and what a recovery by Parker. So even though they were not fooled, they had him double teamed, throw it up there and let your fast receiver Emmanuel Sanders go get it.
Got a new set of downs at the 27. Cody Latimer in as a receiver. It's Caldwell. A lot of separation off the line of scrimmage from the rookie first rounder Peters. They take advantage for 6.
Well, you know the first rule of thumb, defensive back, don't get beat deep. So field position, knowing the situation, don't be too aggressive. Marcus Peters did a good job that time.
Peters, who made that interception last Sunday on his first NFL play. As the Chiefs kicked it in high gear early on their way to a win in Houston. 2nd and 4. Ronnie Hillman's first rush. And this just back to the line of scrimmage. Jay Howard there to meet him.
Well, last year, the Kansas City defense, one of the worst in the NFL against the run. They got back Mike DeVito. That really helps. And Jay Howard, big, tough run stopper inside. And, of course, getting Derek Johnson, Eric Berry, all those guys back helps out your defense. Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator, very aggressive. I'm sure we're going to see some blitzes tonight because the Broncos have not done a good job of picking them up so far.
3rd and 4. Houston has another sack for the 8th consecutive game. Justin Houston gets in the sack column.
Obvious passing situations. You put Ryan Harris, number 68, one-on-one against one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. That's tough.
2nd sack of the night. Already 6 on the season in 5 quarters on Peyton. He was dumped last year only 17 times through the whole year. 6 in 5 quarters. As we're about to run out of the first quarter. A snap out of time. We got a scoreless first 15.
Prior to the snap, this is the end of the first quarter.
We'll return to Kansas City after these messages. You're watching Thursday Night Football. CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. We're back in Kansas City. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson, and Mike Carey as well. Should we need any rules explanations? We're going to start the second quarter with Denver punting. A first quarter that produced no points, 4 sacks by the 2 teams, 2 each, and 7 penalties. Britton Colquitt is to be returned. Thomas. And another flag out on special teams, and the ball came out at the end. Todd Davis cradles the football. Says, hey, I got the ball here. There's not a whole lot of excitement coming from anybody like that.
I think they're all talking to see if anybody saw the football come out. That's why they're having that conference. And since it's not called on the field.
The ruling on the field was the runner, the punt returner was down by contact. During the return, illegal block in the back, number 80, receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
On O'Shaughnessy. Well, let's make sure, in fact, the ruling. No, the ball's out early.
It's out. Gary Kubiak's got to challenge this. Of course, he will.
Jawan Thompson,
what a
the
good
backup
job.
Running back, was the one who reached in.
Went in there and punched it out. Watch his right arm. Two times they've been careless handling the football, the Kansas City Chiefs. And this Broncos defense, special teams, it doesn't matter. They're all fast.
Look at the long snapper even mixing it up in there. Aaron Brewer. Shaq Barrett. Jawan Thompson, I think, is the one who got a hand on it.
You can see the recovery's clear, so there's no question.
Not exactly sure why the red flag's not already out and they're just on with it.
Well, could you clearly see the football? As I watched the second time, I go, okay, I know Todd Davis got up with it, but could you see him recover the football during the replay? That's what the big question has to be. And there comes the flag.
Denver's challenging the ruling on the play that the punt returner was down by contact.
There's Davis coming in.
Well, now it's clear who's got it.
He's going to set up the Broncos. They're going to win this one, no doubt, at the 30. It's going to be Broncos football closer to the 20, actually.
Down, it's a fumble. We have a clear recovery by Denver number 51. It'll be Denver's ball at the 31-yard line. The penalty for the illegal block in the back by number 80 is declined. Denver is not charged with a timeout.
So make it at the 31. Mike Carey, what took so long to throw out the red flag?
Well, first of all, the rule is that you have a two-part review. Fumble, check. Clear recovery, check. What took so long is that on a transition game, it's not clear who is responsible. The booth or the coach. Walt went over, told Kubiak it was his, and now we're on.
Okay, Mike, second fumble recovered by the Broncos. And trying to take advantage. He goes up top for Demaryius Thomas. His first catch of the night goes for 9. They've had a hard time protecting Peyton here, just as we saw last Sunday, and there have been all kinds of sweeping changes on this offensive line from a year ago, Phil.
Yeah, look what it was last year compared to what we have seen so far this year. Last week, the Broncos made mental mistakes. Tonight, they're just getting run over so far by the front of Kansas City.
Rookie left tackle, a first-year player at center. Clady being injured on the first day of OTAs, 2nd and 1, and Anderson unable to convert it. Houston has him wrapped up for no gain, 3rd and 1.
Now, Jim, you talked earlier about Peyton Manning, where you could see him play many games in a row before he would take a sack, and he didn't take many big hits. But the last 2 games, 2.5 games, we've seen so much of this. No matter who you are, what your age is, if you get hit like this, and this often as a quarterback, you're not going to trust your offensive line. Hard to make good decisions and make those throws because you don't have deep down belief.
3rd and 1, and the Chiefs, it's Houston again clogging the middle. So they had 2nd and 1, and they make 2 stops at the line. And Gary Kubiak leaves the offense on the field.
Oh, I think you got to kick the field goal here in a game where points are so hard to come by. You see your defense is playing great. Give yourself that 3-0 lead, but he must have a 4th down play he really likes to risk this situation.
4th and 1 after the Thomas fumble. And the KC-22 from the gun. They run it. Anderson has it. And Derek Johnson brings him down. Oh.
30-second timeout.
Gary Kubiak saying, who called timeout? It wasn't me.
So no play. So we're back to 4th and 1 all over again. Bypassing a 40-yard field goal. They go end around with Sanders. Chiefs are there, and it looks like Parker stopped him short.
What a play by Parker. The safety comes up and just tackles him perfectly to keep him close to that 1st down marker. I thought it had everybody fooled when you saw the reverse coming.
Chiefs football. So a timeout was called, taking away what would have been a 1st down. Peyton called it, but the ball was coming out anyway. And then they had to go back to this play, which was thwarted by the Chiefs. Only on NFL Network. And Charles. He sprints out for about 4, and you did say even before that first attempt at 4th and 1. It was called back because of the timeout. You thought they should have gone field goal.
Yeah, but let's watch Ron Parker first. How about that? He doesn't get fooled by the window dressing, stays with his key, and goes over there and makes a perfectly formed tackle. Feet planted, arms wide, and stopped him short of the first down.
So the Chiefs have coughed it up twice, but still have not surrendered any points here in the second quarter.
Well, I think the big thing is your defense is tremendous. Play to it. Give your team a lead. And Gary Kubiak turned down the field.
Ryan Macklin gets the double whammy from both Harris and Shaq Barrett.
Shaq Barrett, an outside linebacker who comes in and gives DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller a little time off. And this 3-4 defense fits him in his second year. All-conference player, Colorado State, the Mountain West. He won the Conference Defensive Player of the Year a couple years ago and came into camp in great shape and just gives him one more guy on the outside to go after the quarterback.
Pretty impressive linebacking core, both inside and out for that Broncos defense. They are loaded. Loss of 1. It's 3rd and 7. Uh-oh. And that's going to bring out the flag on Miller.
Division rivals, a lot of emotions, second game of the year, a lot of mistakes. You know, what could be the discussion here?
Let's bring in Mike Carey.
There are 2 fouls on the play. False start, number 79, offense. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 58, defense. By rule, the 5-yard penalty is disregarded and the 15-yard penalty will be enforced. First down.
So it's not nullifying penalties.
Not when it's a 5 and 15. Stevenson, 79. There's a hit. That's a good call. Mike, you kind of answered my question. I'm going, what's taking so long to make the call? And you knew right away.
Yeah, you have 2 fouls, and it's difficult to know whether they offset or not. But if there's only a 5-yard penalty, we're going to enforce the 15-yard penalty every time.
And that's the 3rd personal foul penalty against the Denver defense. So the Chiefs set up with new downs at the 39, and they go inside to Charles for a couple, maybe 3. After the game, catch the man who's taking late-night television by storm. Critics call Stephen Colbert a winning ticket. Don't miss the Late Show tonight after your local news.
There are a lot of penalties. Of course, when the emotions are high, it sometimes can lead to penalties, but just to go to this Kansas City offense, the speed of this Denver defense, the screens and bootlegs, non-existent so far for this Kansas City offense.
2nd and 8 to reach out to complete that handoff to Charles. And there's a player falling on his back, that being Malik Jackson, and another flag comes down.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 97, defense. Hitting a runner who was on the ground. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, this has been explained during the offseason. There was a point of emphasis on this to make sure these extra hits, piling on to the runner, receiver, whatever, that you can't do it. And I know it's a rough, tough game, but that's still a good call. He was down on the ground, and Malik Jackson had enough time to pull off.
How about 4 roughness calls, if you will, against the Denver defense? As Kansas City's moving down the field thanks to penalties. First down, it's Macklin. Tossed down by Talib after 7. And what does Jeremy Macklin bring to this team that they haven't had?
Well, he just brings a home run threat from the wide receiver position. Of course, Andy Reid had him in Philadelphia, and they're very excited about what he can do because they think he can always win the one-on-one matchups outside. He's a tremendous route runner, and great addition to the team.
As you look at his numbers a year ago, big numbers in Philadelphia, and he found a different Andy Reid when he got reunited with him here, calling the plays in Kansas City.
And Andy just doing offense now. He said he was creative.
As Charles has a huge lane inside the 20, blockers in front, and he's in for the touchdown. And you were talking about Jeremy Maclin. He threw a pivotal block that helped get Charles into the end zone.
You got to do it in all phases. Couple things here. The inside blocking was tremendous. Call him in a blitz. Nice cutback by Jamal Charles. And then the speed to get it done. The quick snap count by Alex Smith was a key there also. Timed up perfectly. Ja Reed just pushes it down inside. And you're right. Down the field, Jeremy Maclin leading the way.
Our pylon camera, he soars right above and beyond.
There was a star running the football that time in Jamal Charles that we never talk about when we talk about running backs or players in the NFL. In his career, I think he's averaging over 5 yards a carry.
He is. He's got the biggest average per carry in the history of the game. Better than number 2 being Jim Brown. So they're going to take the long-range extra point. Santos, who hit last week, all of his attempts, 3 out of 3 from here. And he's good on this one. A 78-yard drive, 30 of which were off defensive penalties. And Charles takes it home, 7-0 Kansas City. When he gets that open field, forget it.
Still has the speed that we saw early in his career. You're right. Give him a little open field and he can outrun anybody.
Santos in the direction of Caldwell. This is going to go through the back of the end zone. Almost into row 1. Pretty impressive blocking effort, too, by the Chiefs.
Well, a couple things, Jim. The biggest one is watch Ja Reed push down inside and give him a chance for the cutback. But watch TJ Ward as he comes flying up there. You got to be careful because of the running back you're facing. So he was aggressive. And Jamal Charles is cut to the outside too fast, can't make up the ground by being so aggressive coming towards the line of scrimmage.
Ronnie Hillman will start out as the running back on this drive. After a 14-yard run on the first play of the game, they've only managed 5 yards rushing on the last 8 attempts, the Broncos. The throw and complete to Demaryius Thomas for 6. Here's a little next-gen look at what Jamal Charles did with that touchdown run.
Wow, he saw right away the cutback. And then the great hustle by the wide receivers getting blocks downfield.
Well, it's 2nd and 3. Mark it at the 27. From the gun. And it goes sideline. He's Virgil Green for the first down.
You know, just go back to that last drive a little bit. Gary Kubiak, we watch the pass outside. They go deep. Nobody covers Virgil Green in the flat. But what we think it was a mistake not kicking the field goal, Jim, and then the personal fouls led to that touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs.
No touchdown passes in his last 98 attempts. That's now the longest drought of his career. 6 out of 8 tonight. Throwing again, and well played by Peters. And a flag comes out from behind. Thomas was the target. Peters makes an appeal to no avail.
Pass, holding, number 22, defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Next Thursday, your weekend starts with Kirk Cousins and the Redskins and a rumble among rivals with Eli Manning and the Giants. It's all here Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. We'll go into the NFC East as again there's a heavy emphasis on divisional action, rivalry games on Thursday Night Football. First down off the hold. And that's Ronnie Hillman getting close to midfield. Now, Phil, during the preseason, the first team unit of the Broncos was out there for 10 total drives, 11 series last week. And now this is their 5th drive of the night. This is the 26th drive for the first team offense, and they still have not been in the end zone.
Well, we see all the problems. Not getting enough time. The run blocking's not great so far this season. The opportunities they've had with Peyton Manning throwing it deep, they have missed.
2nd and 3, Hillman. And having a hold on him right away is Jay Howard.
You know, it kind of goes back to what we said early in the game. It's not Peyton Manning's offense anymore, which he has run for so many years. This is Gary Kubiak's philosophy and the way he wants to manage the football team and the offensive side.
That graphic showed you 10 pass plays. That's 8 pass attempts and 2 sacks on dropbacks. 3rd and 3. Are they going to bring it again? They do. Pass it. It's intercepted. It's Peters. The rookie's going to take it home for the touchdown.
A free blitzer is coming at Peyton Manning, so he tries to anticipate the throw, knowing they can't block everybody. So the throw is a little off target. Here comes the blitzer that's going to be free. Here's the matchup to watch on the outside. Wow.
Peters, who had that interception on the first play last Sunday in Houston, the rookie selected 18th overall out of the University of Washington, off to the races.
Jim, they didn't pick up the blitzer, and they let one of the down linemen come away free also. So another mistake by the Denver offensive line.
Santos, good again. That's 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes and 44 seconds, and that's now 2 pick sixes. Run back on Peyton and the Broncos in 5.5 quarters this season. Peyton Manning's just been picked off. Run back 55 yards. Marcus Peters for a touchdown.
Hey, Jim, make no doubt about it. We saw it last week, the Baltimore Ravens, and we're seeing glimpses of it here tonight. The Kansas City Chiefs. They see the problems this offense is having, and they're going after them. This was almost taboo last year. People wouldn't do these type of things against Peyton Manning and the offense, but they're emboldened by success. The all-out blitz, playing for the short pass, and timing it perfectly for an interception for a touchdown.
And Santos, this one could be run back by Caldwell. He'll take it out. And a flag comes in, which could back up the Broncos inside the 10.
During the return, illegal hands to the face, number 49 of the kicking team.
Oh.
5-yard penalty, first down.
So look.
Daniel Sorensen flagged for that for the Chiefs.
Just look at the people up at the line of scrimmage. Everybody playing the receivers tight. Last year, this would have been a screen, a pick play. But not only that, look at 3 defenders back near Peyton Manning before he can even let the football go. So communication, it's not good. It's not sound. And then physically, not taking charge either, that offensive line.
14 unanswered by Kansas City. after this defense made that 4th down stop when the Broncos elected not to go for the field goal. Peyton's coming right back from him. And he is almost intercepted again off the fingertips of Fleming as he threw it too high for Hillman. And if Peyton Manning was feeling any pressure coming into this game, with all the talk that's been out there, what do you think he's feeling now?
Well, he's got to feel it. I don't care who you are in this league. If you've played as many years as Peyton Manning has, uncertainty, like I've said, of the offense, well, the football gets out of control. They took away the deep pass. They're trying to throw that time, but not trusting your blockers, not staying with the first read because you figure that pass rush is going to get there.
He's in the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Down the middle of the field, and it's caught by Thomas. Peyton stepped up and got it into his hands for 19 yards.
That was a beautiful throw. It was. Good job of stepping up in the pocket. That's what he does very well. And when he steps up, Jim, he gets his legs underneath him, and he can throw those footballs just like that, on the money, with enough power where the defense can't make the play. I thought I would see more of that here tonight.
Longest pass play of the season for the Broncos, 19 yards. Tillman, and he goes sideways for about 4.
Well, Hillman, as you watch him run in there, just has a little more speed to his step than when you see C.J. Anderson coming in there. He got beat up last week. Hillman fresher, a little bit quicker of a running back, and played well so far here tonight.
2nd and 7. Stepping up and throwing again. And that's exactly what you said he likes to do. Get the feet secured, step up, and fling it for 9 more for a 1st down to Sanders.
Yeah, what do you do with quarterbacks who are not going to break out and go side to side? You give them good protection right in front of them. So that time, that little hop, when you see him hop like that, he has a chance to put a little bit more speed on the football, and it gets there before the defense.
From the Kansas City side of the field. Protected and throwing right on target. It is to Sanders again.
Beautiful throw, good timing, rhythm, everything. Take this pass rush away by throwing the football in rhythm. And that's a couple, 3 straight throws right on target by Peyton Manning.
Got a timeout called by Kansas City.
Charge timeout, Kansas City.
So, the best sequence of plays of the night for Denver. Timeout.
There's no question it gives him a little more time. It makes it easier on him, and he can hop into those throws, which we have seen these last 3 completions.
Coming out of the Chiefs timeout, Manning's going for the long ball. He's looking down the field, and Peters defends it. No flag. Peyton looks different on this series, and this is not exactly the type of offensive scheme we thought the Broncos would be going with all night tonight.
Well, you got to give yourself a chance to win. Demaryius Thomas has it. The football's a little underthrown. He has to slow down, and that allows the rookie Marcus Peters to get back in there and make a play.
One thing that's really hurting Peyton is the Denver running game is not good again this week. 12 carries for 29 yards. On 2nd down, now they're going to run it. And this could be the biggest run of the night. It's Hillman running behind Sambrailo and Caldwell.
Caught him that time. They're going to block it inside. Sambrailo is going to pull out. What a block by him, the left tackle. He's a rookie, very athletic. See the receivers go inside. Here comes Big 74 to lead the way.
And the 2nd round left tackle out of Colorado State.
Big snap count, caught him too.
Sambrailo helping free him for 16 yards in the red zone. Manning off the bootleg, incomplete. And Green was the intended target.
Well, let's look at what happened on the interception. We saw the blitz. Where's the football supposed to go? Outside. He throws it inside. That's why Peters makes the interception for the touchdown. And that last play we saw, the bootleg where the pass was not completed, we saw that last week too, Jim. And that is like the #1 thought that Gary Kubiak does with his offense passing the football. It's bootleg passes by the quarterback.
It was there. And it's 2nd and 10. That time. And he's got the short toss to Norwood for 3.
Well, it's interesting watching this tonight, Jim. And I know the Broncos came in here, they thought, well, we didn't do what we wanted to do last week. And even Peyton Manning said it. We're going to run all the stuff that we made work all during training camp. Well, it didn't turn out that way. He looks much more comfortable when he's in the shotgun. And when he's in control, that's what he's done for about the last 17 years. And that's what he's great at.
And he's back in it on a 3rd and 7. Inside 3 minutes to go first half. And a timeout. Called by Peyton. So the Broncos are out of timeouts. 2:36 to go in the first half. Andy Reid's defense trying to tighten things up here on a 3rd and 7.
I say they're going to fake blitz this time.
And the Chiefs come right back and counter with their own timeout. Trying to outbox one another, the two coaches. They've had a lot of time to set up this 3rd and 7.
Well, I just say this. There's nothing you can do on that defensive side that can really fool Peyton Manning. He's the best at recognizing blitzes and what to do. The mistakes have been by his teammates and picking up the blitzers so far tonight.
Got to get to the 9 for the first. Kansas City sees Sanders make the catch, and Denver at last has found the end zone.
Derek Johnson was coming untouched towards Peyton Manning, and he caught that football, didn't even get a grip on it. Watch 56.
And you absolutely set that up, talking about how he was the best at recognizing these things.
He sees it. Listen, we've seen it many times, and I don't know what they were doing on the defensive side. They were confused. Nobody followed Sanders underneath on the blitz. Wide open. Great drive by the Broncos.
McManus, extra point, is good. Quite a response by the Broncos, and specifically
Peyton Manning. He hit all the plays he needed to that time. Saw the blitz and got rid of the football.
Coming up on the Lexus halftime report, JB, Dion, Coach Cowher, and Tony Gonzalez will break down all the first half action. Dion,
man,
getting ready.
Nice suit and tie, I'll say that. There's JB down the sideline. We know one thing about JB tonight. He's sweating down there because it's hot and humid here in Kansas City.
He's going to be honoring members of the Chiefs Super Bowl championship team. Super Bowl 4 at halftime here. By the way, Peyton Manning in that record book, virtually just everywhere you find him. And he's soon to be the second ever to get to 70K. 26 yards away.
I thought Brett Favre, 71,000 yards, even for Peyton, was unattainable. There was no way he was going to be able to stay in the league long enough to get it done, and of course I was wrong.
Threw for 61 yards on that touchdown drive, and again it was on a 3rd down. Sanders and Manning so good, teaming up on 3rd down. And there's a pass play, and it's incomplete. And you thought for sure they would run it here with Denver out of timeouts. You would ensure that the next snap would happen on the other side of the 2-minute warning.
That's right. You know, always the first thing you want to do in a situation like this is to see the clock, protect your team and don't give a quarterback that's pretty hot right now in Peyton Manning, don't give him another chance to throw a few more passes against your defense. This has got to be a run.
Intercepted. It's Aqib Talib. Back-to-back pass plays by the Chiefs.
Aqib Talib read the quick drop by Alex Smith. That's what he does. We saw it last week against Joe Flacco. He can read receivers and the quarterback. Look at him outside, number 21. He's watching what a break by Aqib Talib. My gosh.
His second interception in 2 weeks, and the Chiefs had every opportunity to, at the very worst, go into the locker room with a 7-point lead.
Well, I can see why Alex Smith threw the football. The little fake. Aqib Talib was way off the football, and look at Wade Phillips. He says, this pair of corners I have, Chris Harris and Aqib Talib, they're the best I've ever coached. And what really drives it over the top, they know how to go and catch the football.
Third takeaway for the Broncos. Hillman got a crease for 7. The Smith interception free streak has come to an end after 135 passes. But the Broncos out of timeouts. They'll watch this one go down to the 2-minute warning. Boy, a sudden turn of events here. The Broncos 8 yards away from tying it up before the intermission. What did you make of that strategy, the Chiefs, when they had the football?
Sometimes it's okay to be predictable. I thought they should have run the football, keep it out of Peyton Manning's hand, and he ended up making a big mistake.
Over to Norwood, a wiggle to the end zone, and he's close. And they've got the signal for the touchdown. Jordan Norwood.
That's what we're used to seeing. These type of plays, immediately Peyton Manning sees, oh, I think it was a run play. The corner's too far off, and he takes advantage of it.
I'm not sure the knee didn't hit first. Let's see.
Arm, yes, it's going to be short.
Yep. From the pylon cam.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
That ruling on the field will be no doubt overturned. They'll be about a half yard away. I mean, it's a bit of a shocking turnaround at 14-0. Everything in the world is going wrong for the Broncos. They've got no life on offense. All of a sudden, they put together a drive and score. The strategy backfires on the Chiefs to go to the air before the 2-minute warning. And just waiting for this to be overturned. And
that's right.
It'll be still a first down anyway.
After reviewing the play, runner's knee down. The ball is at the half-yard line. It will be first and goal from the half for Denver. The game clock will start on my signal.
Second game of the year. A lot of mistakes by the players out in the field. Personal fouls, missing coverages, not picking up the right guys on blitzers. And in my opinion, no big mistakes by the coaches here in the first half.
All set up this time by the Talib pick. Ronnie Hillman is the running back. Hillman 6 carries for 33 yards. The starter Anderson has 7 for 19. 14 came on the first play of the game. First and goal. And it's Hillman. Look at him trying to power across, but they don't give it to him.
Still plenty of time. If they want to run this football 3 straight times, they will have enough time on the clock to do that. You know, Evan Mathis, their left guard, who they signed after the 3rd preseason game. If you think they're going to run it, him or either guard, both good run blockers.
They got Thomas on the wing to the right. They're looking to throw to the end zone, and it is caught by Virgil Green. He bobbled it for a moment, but then grabbed hold for the 6.
Quick decision and a really good one by Peyton Manning. That ball was meant to throw to the right flat and throw short. He immediately saw it was covered and looked for Virgil Green back of the end zone coming from the other side.
This used to be Julius Thomas's role. Of course, he is now with Jacksonville, injured here early, and feet, no question, they're down. Virgil Green has his second career touchdown. And the Broncos have a second touchdown in a 1:43 span. Point ties it. We've had 28 points scored in the last 8 minutes and 20 seconds.
Well, what a confidence builder for the Broncos. Look at the possessions. They do nothing really on offense. They have a 10-play, 80-yard drive that just pumped life into them. And then Aqib Talib makes that interception, Jim, and man, they got to go in at halftime and just, no, they averted disaster.
No, they were on the brink of this game being ugly.
Absolutely. 14-0. The crowd was into it. They're not blocking anybody. And what do? They give it to Peyton Manning, put him in the shotgun, and he came through with some big throws.
Peyton with touchdown passes on 2 of his last 3 throws.
What a turnaround. 6-9, nothing going their way.
McManus denies any run out opportunity. And coming up on the Lexus halftime report, J.B. Dion, Coach Cower, and Tony Gonzalez will break down all the first half action, and there was plenty of it.
And they'll need 2 half times to go through everything that's
right.
gone on in this game so far.
Chiefs have 1 timeout.
I don't think they're going to throw a short pass. I just got a feeling this time they're going to run the football.
First and 10, Kansas City from the Chiefs 20-yard line.
Since you get the ball to start the second half, Kansas City does.
Might have been the first time Peyton smiled in almost a week. He should be smiling. After that turnaround, Denver can't stop the clock.
He was tackled by Vaughn Miller, gaining a yard on play.
And they're going to have to snap it one more time before they head to the locker room. And again, as you mentioned, Kansas City deferred and will receive the second half kickoff.
Let's go back and look at that touchdown real quick. What went on? Peyton Manning the fake. You see the running back going outside, covered, and right away in the air makes the decision to throw it to Virgil Green.
The Chiefs, no first downs after the Jamal Charles touchdown run. They covered 34 yards. Malik Jackson and Jamal Charles, that's a bit of a mismatch. They push and shove a little bit as the official comes between them. Anthony Sherman comes over to protect his running back. And that's his pretty much full-time job as the fullback on this team. That's the end of the first half with the score tied at 14. He's had a couple of kick returns for touchdowns, including a 108-yard return against the Broncos here 2 years ago. Will not have a chance to run this one out. But, man, this turnaround in the late first half, how did it happen?
Well, you know, you got to look at the decision by Andy Reid to throw the football instead of getting down to the 2-minute warning and really taking the clock away from the Denver Broncos. So a great play by Aqib Talib. But also what I'm looking for in the second half, we know Denver has figured it out on the offensive side. Just keep giving it to their quarterback and see if he can get it done. And you look at Kansas City, what are they going to do? Really nothing except that one run by Jamal Charles worked in the first half for him.
Charles getting 5, maybe 6. And let's go down to Tracy.
Thanks a lot, guys. A questionable call from each coach on each sideline. You mentioned the play calling down the stretch to the 2-minute warning. I asked Andy Reid about it, and he said they were just bad calls. He regrets the decision, and he takes the blame. As for the 4th down call from Gary Kubiak, he said they just needed some darn yards. He said it's all about the mindset of the team. He likes where his team is at, likes what he saw in the locker room from them, but they need to protect Peyton Manning better, and he wants to run the ball more. Guys?
Now he's got to be thrilled the way his team got back into it. Second catch of the night for Kelsey, and it's going to be marked right at the 30. That's good for a first. What stood out as far as statistically in the first half, Phil?
Well, I just think the fact that the Denver Broncos, when Peyton Manning started getting in the shotgun and throwing the football, was the big turnaround. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, 2 catches by the wide receivers for 19 yards. Alex Smith hasn't been able to move around. The screen game is not working.
They haven't really even tried the screen game tonight. Got a first down, and Charles, with that speed, able to avoid a negative play and pick up a yard, maybe 2.
Well, why they're not doing it, Jim? You know, we were at practice. Not always think about this. On Tuesday, I saw a lot of screens, but when you get in the game, you see how fast they are on defense, how aggressive they are. The screens become dangerous because it takes a little while to set them up sometimes, and they can't hold out DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller long enough.
In that first half, the 3 giveaways by Kansas City. That's the first time under Andy Reid the Chiefs have turned it over 3 times in the first half. 2nd and 9. And that's Macklin. Will they give him a forward progress? It's going to be close to the first.
Chris Harris right there on top of him. And, you know, we talked about these 2 corners. Chris Harris keeps him to the inside, keeps good outside technique, and then drives on the football. Makes it a tough catch for Jeremy Macklin.
His 3rd catch, and it is good for a first down. So the Chiefs pick up a couple of first downs on this opening 3rd quarter drive. Low snap. Fielded. Charles for 9. Wrapped up by David Bruton.
Talk about what you want to do on offense. This is what you have to do, is keep giving the football to Jamal Charles. Wants to cut it back, then makes a good decision to take it outside. Nice block by Travis Kelsey, the tight end, to allow the running back to get out there.
The playmakers you talked about at the beginning of the night, Phil, they've all touched it here on this drive. Macklin, Charles, and Kelsey.
If there's a weakness to this Denver defense, maybe a little small up front, can you wear them down with the run game to give your quarterback more time to throw?
2nd and 1. Deep pass, and it's on target. And that's Macklin near the 20. Right in front of Chris Harris Jr. 29-yard pass play. Smith to Macklin.
Yeah, what happens is Chris Harris thinks there's going to be somebody inside at safety. I'm watching the coverage, and it wasn't there. T.J. Ward was up near the line of scrimmage or closer, trying to cover a tight end, so it allows Macklin open down the field. First deep throw we've really seen today from the Chiefs.
It's Davison at running back. And he's got a yard, maybe 2, before he's pushed back by DeMarcus Ware. So down the field throws, that's not a common occurrence in Kansas City, Phil.
We looked at this graphic. I had to look at it about 5 times to go, no, wait, are you talking about the whole season? 18 attempts, over 21 yards for the whole year.
That was it. But he's just completed one that was officially now 30 yards in the books. To Macklin to set him up now. Deep in Denver territory on this opening series. And he was trying to get it in the hands of Kelsey. A 3rd down on the way.
When you go back to that number of throws down the field, Jim, it just tells you about their offense. We haven't seen it tonight as much as they did last week, of course, against the Houston Texans. A lot of deceptions, a lot of short throws. Take the pressure off your offensive linemen with those quick throws, with screens and draws. Hard to do some of those things against an aggressive, fast defense, like I've said, against the Denver Broncos have.
Charles returns to the lineup for this third down snap. Here's a screen pass. Charles cuts back to the middle. What a tackle by Harris. He doesn't make that play. He doesn't ride it with Charles. Who knows? He was cutting back and looking for some open lanes.
Blitz inside. Really good job, Jamal Charles. His first initial reaction is, I'm going to outrun him. And then he realizes Darian Stewart, great job of getting outside, making him cut back. Nice tackle by Harris.
Going to be about it's going to be a 35-yard field goal attempt for Cairo Santos. He's 25 of 30 last season. And that kick is good. Put Kansas City back in the lead at 17-14. Good drive for the Chiefs to start this third quarter. It results in 3. You know, the Broncos come in here having won 12 consecutive divisional road games. That is tied with those 49er great teams of the late 80s. 12 in a row. More for the record tonight. 13. And they'll be starting to Kansas City, producing more than 400 motorcycles a day here. Knocked down right away. And that's Anderson, who's had a tough go of it after a good first run of the night. That's a loss of 1. Howard on the hit.
How about this, a little hurry-up offense? You look at the numbers. Peyton Manning turned it around, 13 of 19.
18 yards from 70,000. 2nd and 11. And it's Owen Daniels, written down by Eric Berry. We'll set up 3rd and 1.
You know, Peyton is just a quarterback and a player that when things go bad, he just keeps going after it. He's like a golfer who takes his driver out and hits a couple out of bounds. It doesn't faze him. He tees it up and keeps hitting that driver. And that's what he's done here tonight. He fought through it with some good throws, being tough, and just getting the job done.
3rd and a short 2. Manning has his man, and he's going to have as well his 70,000. I believe he'll be right on the number. It's Sanders.
Well, that's against Jamel Fleming. Outside, waits, takes a little while. But Emmanuel Sanders, we saw it last week, missed the preseason, so fast, so fresh, very dangerous at all times on the field.
2nd ever to reach 70K. It's just happened. Pass batted in the air, and Houston unable to catch up with it.
Well, that was a good job knocking it down because the receiver was open.
What do you think when you see 70,000?
Can't even comprehend it. It really is truly incredible. You know, nowadays we're seeing quarterbacks put up some unbelievable numbers, but that's a number that even great quarterbacks can't imagine putting them up like that.
2nd and 10. He hands it off. Anderson finally has some room, and he has a first down across the 48. Gain of 11, running behind Paradis, the center.
Yeah, how about that? Number 61 gets outside, pulls around, and leads the block. They think second-year center. They think a lot of him. And how about this hurry-up offense? This will tire out a defensive front fast.
Again, and he's going to be backed up 1. Alan Bailey, Josh Longa. And a reminder, week 2 of the NFL season continues Sunday on CBS and Fox. Check your local listings for the game in your area. This is the next broadcast window. Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern. That actually lost 3. And it returns Ronnie Hillman to the lineup. Sidelines he goes, and almost picked up by Peters, but he was out of bounds. Juggling attempt by Thomas. And Eric Berry kind of jarred it loose from Demarius.
Yep, there's a safety back there helping Peters. And boy, excellent job
Watch the hit by Barry.
Reading the quarterback and getting over there to make the hit.
Yeah, Peters came pretty close. Second foot was in the air. Demarius 3 catches for 35. Denver has 3 third-down conversions tonight. All of them have gone to Emmanuel Sanders, and they have taken another early timeout. We were talking leading into this game about this was going to have a different look, this offense, than what we saw against Baltimore last Sunday, but it's kind of right back to what we saw.
It looks like what we saw really all last year with Peyton Manning and what he did with Adam Gase as the offensive coordinator. Look, it's a big turnaround for Gary Kubiak to come in here and change the culture completely from what they've had so much success with over the years. And look, it says something about Gary Kubiak. He realized this is the best thing to do to give them the greatest chance to win this game. So he puts it in Peyton Manning's hands.
So again, it's 3rd and 13. Every time they've converted tonight on 3rd down, it's gone to number 10. It's pass. It's caught by Thomas, but he's 3 or 4 yards short of the first. Needed 13, picked up 9.
Well, Peyton Manning under pressure. Tom Bahali gets around the edge. Makes a really good throw, but the one thing you notice, and I've noticed tonight, the defensive backs are staying off the wide receivers, trying to read Peyton Manning, so when he throws it, they can make that break and make a play. That time it was close on the outside.
Well, they sacked him twice in the first quarter, but they haven't since. And it brings Britton Colquitt back out. The Colquitt brothers tonight. Really strong performers. And Thomas with a fair catch at the 8. First time brothers have punted in the NFL at the same time since 1941. Good one by Britton.
Root for the home team. Let's all cheer for a win. Orange, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 3 strikes, you're out at the old game.
Okay, the Colquitts, they've been at it a long time, 11 and 7 years. Of course, their father, Craig, was on 2 Super Bowl champion teams at Pittsburgh, and their Uncle Jimmy was in the league. They know how to produce punters, like the Sims and the Mannings know how to produce quarterbacks. Charles.
Jamal Charles, the ball carrier.
He skips out for about 3.
Tackled by Malik Jackson.
Britton and Dustin, they see each other twice a year in the league. The parents sit up in the stands and they got the jerseys cut in half.
Pretty neat. Pass down the talent to the kids, and they're both great at it, no question.
All Tennessee Volunteers. The Colquitts is Alex Smith now. Took him 62 yards on that first drive. Got 62 out of his big playmakers. Look out. Just throws that into the ground as Vaughn Miller was giving chase. Let's go mic'd up here with DeMarcus Ware.
Go, baby, let's go. Please on him. Yeah.
Jim, we talked about it. Sorry, we talked about it earlier. This 3-4 defense, it fits DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller. It just lets them be pass rushers almost every single play.
5-yard mark off coming up against Kansas City.
False start, number 87, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
On Kelsey, Saturday it's the best game for the best conference, the Home Depot SEC on CBS. Unleashing Jeremy Johnson and the Tigers against Brandon Harris and the Bayou Bengals. It all starts with college football today, Saturday on CBS Sports. It's the third false start of the night as Avant comes to the sideline. Third one on the Chiefs. Unbending Broncos defense on third down through 6 quarters this season. Boy, they load up the left side. To Thomas. And that will bring up a punt.
You know, the difference, Wade Phillips knows he has a terrific defense, of course. So it's third and long. It's not, well, let's sit back and let him throw that short pass and pick up 8 or 10. He had everybody up there challenging them man-to-man and tight. The only reason they got that throw the way it was because it was a screen. Everybody was being careful not to get picked. So an aggressive, talented defense.
Caldwell, the up back. And Sanders back deep. There was pressure, but Dustin Colquitt got it away. The side bounce goes out near the 42. That's a 43-yard punt. Network. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Chiefs by a field goal. Manning's throw, open, Thomas. And out of bounds at the 40. 5th catch of the night for Thomas, this one for 18.
Yeah, they made it easy. They came up, played tight coverage, and right away Peyton Manning sees it and throws a little back shoulder to stop Demaryius Thomas so he can come back and make the catch against Fleming.
Pretty quickly back to the line. Hillman, the running back. What a hit on Hillman. Jay Howard. Jay Howard, we called his name many times.
Yes, tough inside, great run stopper. That's what's changed this Chiefs run defense. But again, we talked about it a little, Jim, though. But just how about the difference in the offense? Under the center, we're going to run the ball and throw play action. Well, when it's not working, you got something else to go to. This, what you're going to, is pretty good stuff.
Yeah, they've adjusted into something that's working. The 2nd and 10. Holding on with the tackle is Philip Gaines, Norwood, for about 4.
And as you watch this pace, the other thing that comes to mind, Justin Houston, arguably one of the top 2 or 3 pass rushers in the NFL, never comes out of the game, number 50. So how many times can you line up and just try to beat an offensive tackle in a situation like this? I think it gets tough as the game goes along.
He got a sack in the first quarter. 3rd and 6. Tough pass, incomplete. Intended for Norwood.
Great change up by the defense. They came up there. They act like they're going to blitz. They drop back in the zone. They read the quarterback and really know where to go for Peyton Manning.
They're going to go for the long field goal here coming up. Remember last week, Brandon McManus dropped a 57 and a 56-yard field goal on the Ravens in the first quarter. This is going to be 54 yards. McManus from downtown. I tell you, he is the chairman of the 50-yard field goal in this league. And the game is tied at 17. Now, voted best barbecue in KC by Zagat every year since 2004. How about this weapon in Brandon McManus?
Well, we heard it last year. You kind of went through the story. They released him, brought him back, put him on practice squad because they just saw the talent, how far he could kick the football with such ease. And we've seen that in the first 2 games.
Look at this. He's made 3 out of 3 from 50. Remember, the shortest of those 3 was just one he made just a moment ago, 54 yards with the 56 and 57 yards. The rest of the whole league, week 1 was 3 out of 6 from 50 plus. Does not earn the touchback goal on this occasion. And it's Nile Davis. Well covered. by the Broncos special teams, and Juwan Thompson, who forced the fumble in that first half, makes the tackle.
Well, Jim, in the first half, Alex Smith had inside pressure, and of course, then Von Miller from the outside made it tough for him to find or even get time to throw it down the field. But look at this in that first drive. A lot of space to step into the throw and gets it deep down the field to Jeremy Maclin. So defenses, once they tire out a little, gives your quarterback a little more time, and you can hold on to it and try to get it down the field, which they did on that opening drive.
They come out with 3 wides and go from the gun. It's called to get both feet down. Thomas did not make a very good effort to try to get both feet down. We've got a Chief player that's down on the field. Well, hold on a minute. Maybe he did. Kind of casually caught it, but maybe he knew what he was doing all the time. They did call it incomplete on the field. Donald Stevenson is the injured Chief player back near the 10-yard line. Got hit by his own teammate.
Yep.
Got hit by Ja Reed. Now, how about this? Is this a catch? 1.
It's close when you think he has possession of the football. Right foot was down. The question is, was the left down? Was the right down before he got possession? I think so.
Of course, the injured player is giving the Chief replay crew upstairs a pretty good opportunity to look at this and signal down to the sideline whether or not they might want to challenge this.
That's a good sign that Stevenson's walking off.
Check it out from this side.
You know, it's really close. I think it's worth the challenge.
It's a 9-yard play.
Yeah.
If it's ruled a catch.
You're backed up on your own 16, 17-yard line.
Be a tremendous drive starter when you begin a series as the Chiefs did inside the 20, but they're not going to challenge it.
Nope. Andy Reid, I'm watching him. He's looking up at the big scoreboard. I'm sure he's talking to somebody upstairs.
Here's
He's got the flag. He didn't throw it.
Eric Fisher comes in. And that's Charles for about 4. Eric Fisher, of course, the highly drafted tackle who was a late scratch as a starter last week. He's been battling a high ankle sprain. There was all kinds of talk Monday and Tuesday about, the Fisher. Was he avoiding the opportunity to go against Houston and J.J. Watt? And, Andy Reid pretty quickly squelched that whole story.
Listen, Jim, every week you come out here, he's going to see a superstar or somebody of that quality going against you if you're a tackle in the NFL. So
he's going against DeMarcus Ware on this occasion. The Chiefs convert a 3rd down. 3rd and 6. Smith in trouble. Smith tackled up by the shoestrings by Ware, holds him to a yard.
Really good job by Alex Smith moving in the pocket, but watch down the field as he goes to throw. He's going to let the football go to Travis Kelce, and he gets tangled up with T.J. Ward, and no flag was thrown. And look at the hustle by DeMarcus Ware. Says he watches Von Miller in practice. It inspires him because he wants to be as good as Von Miller. He's doing a great job of that.
Another 3 and out, 2 straight. That is now for the Chiefs. By Sanders. Bobbled it for a moment. 53-yard boot. Got a flag back near the line of scrimmage.
During the kick, holding number 51 receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down, Denver.
This being the 2nd game for Gary Kubiak. Being reunited with John Elway. They came out of the same draft. Elway from Stanford, Kubiak from A&M. Elway and his Hall of Fame career, 130 starts. Coop's got some starts himself, and then after He gave up the role as the backup quarterback. He went into coaching, was the coordinator, talking into the helmet on those 2 Super Bowl championship teams to his old camp roommate and buddy John Elway, and now they're reunited. They put the band back together.
Put them back together. John Elway not happy with the way things ended last year. He wanted to change the thought process and everything they do, the way they practice. I guess just to make them more physical and tough. That's why he brought in Gary Kubiak.
On first down from the gun, open. Good tackle by Parker on Daniels. It's a 6-yard gain.
I think what they're finding out, though, Jim, it's not that easy to turn those things around either. These first 2 games running the football, they worked on it all off season. You know, the mentality, we're going to do that, really hasn't come through for them so far here early in the season.
Second and 4. Anderson is stripped up for no gain. Anderson now 11 carries, 27 yards. And this is after a 12 for 29 performance last Sunday. But at the end of last season, he's one of the best backs in the league.
I think they're going to be, whatever happens in the game, I know they're going to be very disappointed in their running offense, because I think they came in here tonight, I know they did, thinking we can beat this defensive front by just running right at them.
Anderson had 168 on this field last November. And now it's a 3rd and 4. Perfectly timed to Sanders. Again, 3rd down. Those 2, they're always looking Emmanuel's way, and they've got the first.
Beautiful throw to the outside, safe. Peyton Manning looks out there. He sees that Jamal Fleming is playing inside, so they call the route that goes outside.
7th catch for Sanders for 68 yards and a touchdown. Going to take it under center here with a 2nd to go in the quarter, and we'll move on to the 4th with a tie game. We'll return to Kansas City after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching Thursday Night Football. Have been tied after every quarter. Jim Nantz, Bill Sims, and Tracy Wolfson in Kansas City for this AFC West rivalry game. On first down, that pass dangerously thrown in the direction of Thomas, and that was Peters making a play on the ball.
What a play by Marcus Peters. That's one thing I've noticed here. We saw it late last year, Jim, when you talk about the Broncos and Peyton Manning, what has happened to some of their passes. This is one big reason why the numbers have gone down. All the screens and the pick plays that they've run are not working like they did early last year.
Looking for a long ball. He's looking for Demarius, and just out of reach.
Seen a lot of those this year. The coverage was tight. Had to be a perfect throw, and it's just about 1 yard too far.
I'm going to go back to the Sanders theme on 3rd down. He's had conversions on 4 occasions tonight, 5 last Sunday. That is 9 3rd down conversions to Sanders in 7 quarters. He was 2nd best in the league last year, 2nd to Antonio Brown. And incomplete. Daniels trying to make the catch on his back, and Parker came over.
Yeah, just a really good job by the defense, faking the blitz, getting back there. And Peyton Manning, it's going to be a tight throw. Tries to anticipate it so much, and it's a little off target. He was worried that the outside defender was going to look inside and maybe come back and break it up. Did the right thing. You throw it safe, not to turn it over.
Britton Colquitt to punt for the 5th time tonight. Stepping up to the 25 is Thomas. Breaks a tackle. And we got a flag out. Nelson was on the hit after a 51-yard punt. A lot of special teams flags tonight.
During the return, holding number 51, receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. The first down, Kansas City. Timeout.
Called on Frank Zombo. And they're going to mark it back inside the 15. Game tied in the fourth at 17. Donald Stevenson is back in at left tackle as Kansas City starts the drive off the penalty at the 12. And they swing it over to Charles. Ward shoves him out near the 20. Let's check in with Tracy.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. You see Chiefs left tackle Donald Stevenson back out there. He hobbled off the field earlier. He went right to the training table, and it looked as though the athletic trainers were trying to lock that ankle back into place. He was in excruciating pain, but once it was over, they taped him up, and he's back out there, guys.
Not bad. Yeah, quite a bit of tape on that left ankle. Travis Kelce, by the way, has been quieted tonight. 2 catches, 20 yards to this point. 2nd and 4. Thomas has the first down. And this time on the far side, it's Harris that shoves him out. 12-yard pickup. First down, Chiefs.
Caught him in a blitz. Good job by Alex Smith. T.J. Ward from the outside. And Chris Harris, when you're a defensive back and your receiver's inside, you got to give him a little room, which is what he did, because you worry about crossing the field and getting picked off by one of your own guys.
3 receivers on the field. Niall Davis, the running back, has the football. And there is nothing there but a wall of Broncos led by Antonio Smith. Sunday, the NFL on CBS comes out with regional action. Some will see San Diego at Cincinnati, both with opening wins late. Some will get your game at that time. Baltimore at Oakland, Miami at Jacksonville. And it all gets started, of course, with the team that'll take you to Super Bowl 50 from the studio. JB, Tony, Bart, Coach, and Boomer on the NFL Today. Plus, you got that New England at Buffalo game on the CBS lineup this Sunday. Charles is back in, but he's lined up wide to the left. That flag, the line, Thomas thrown down, and there's another flag. Might have been a face mask on the second one.
There are fouls by both teams. Illegal contact, number 30, defense. Illegal hands, hands to the face, number 79, offense. Those fouls all set. We'll replay second down.
Gary Kubiak's first game as a head coach in the NFL, that being for the Texans. He was matched up against Andy Reid and Philadelphia. In fact, Coach Kubiak's first ever NFL experience on the road. He was a ball boy for Bum Phillips teams when he was just a young kid growing up in Houston. And he came up here with Bum and the Oilers to Arrowhead Stadium when he was just a teenager. Niall Davis at running back, 2nd and 10. Davis hadn't even turned around yet. And that first game for Coach Kubiak in his Houston tenure was down in Houston. Donovan Nabb, though, ruined the debut on that day with 3 touchdown passes, and the Eagles won it.
Well, Alex Smith here's in this drive. The one thing, he's getting a little better pass protection, able to at least look down the field. Nobody has gotten open deep down the field for him to make that throw.
They are 0 for 5, the Chiefs, on 3rd down tonight. They need to find a go-to guy here. Maybe it's Kelce. He's in trouble. He's got nowhere to go. Look at all the Broncos that busted across the line. And Antonio Smith will get credit for that sack. A loss of 8.
You just said it. Everybody gets across the line that time. It's a blitz. Brandon Marshall inside, and Alex Smith, good athlete, nowhere to find, can't find a lane to get away from this pass rush. And that's probably the thing that surprised me most about Kansas City's offense tonight, that Alex Smith hasn't had the opportunity to move around and make those plays once he breaks the power.
Sacked by the Broncos. Colquitt sends Sanders to the sideline, and he's out of bounds at the 23. We're down to 11:36 to play in this one, with the game knotted at 17. Nearly $400 million renovation back in 2010. Place is shaken now as we're at a crucial point in this fourth quarter. Manning down the field, and never giving up position there was Fleming. Let's check in. Mic'd up with Derek Johnson.
We got to stand up. Hey, let's go! Good job, guys. We're in a fight now. Hey, hey, watch the ball!
Coming off an Achilles injury, Derek Johnson, he was terrific last week against the Houston Texans. Hadn't been able to really get through the blocking lanes to sack Peyton Manning or get those tackles for losses like he did last week.
2nd and 10, Hillman. Again, another play made by Jay Howard. Gain of 2. Play selection for the Broncos, really on pace to pretty much match what they did last week.
I will say this, whatever they did since the first quarter, Jim, they found ways to stop the blitz, pick up the blitzers, and they've given Peyton Manning more time to make throws.
It was at this point a week ago or 4 days ago when the Broncos put together nearly an 11-minute drive. But now they face a 3rd and long. Pressure. And Manning goes down. It's Houston on his back. Third sack of the night for the Chiefs. 2 of them belonging to Justin Houston.
Coming off the left side, Justin Houston has been playing to Peyton Manning's right a lot of the night. Every once in a while he switches over.
Well, just last season he had 22 sacks. Houston finishing up a half sack off the all-time record that belonged in the single season to Michael Strahan.
Plays every play, practices every snap every day for this Kansas City team.
Short boot. And it is down right there at the 41 by Bruton. Great starting field position for the Chiefs. 41-yard punt. And Houston ensures that the Chiefs offense gets the ball back. 4 touchdowns in this game, and they all occurred in the second quarter.
Well, what an opportunity for this Chiefs offense. Well, let's go back and look at that sack. Could be a turning point in the game. As you look at Evan Mathis, here he is, Justin Houston and Tamba Hali both on the same side. You get your 2 best pass rushers on one side. Tough for Denver to deal with.
Smith gets it to Kelsey. He cuts back to pick up extra yardage. A gain of 9 on his 3rd reception. Good drive starter for Kansas City. The last 3 drives for the Chiefs. 11 plays, only 1 first down and 3 punts.
They've had a lot of different formations here tonight. I thought they were going to get the football to Travis Kelsey in some of them. But what they were doing, they were using him as a decoy and going to the other side, and it didn't work.
2nd and 1, Smith has it. Makes the cut on Von Miller to pick up the first.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Boy, good job by Von Miller. Excellent job by Alex Smith getting the air and getting the first down, but it fooled Von Miller. and he was still able to recover and get outside and make Alex Smith cut back inside.
Yeah, Alex Smith says, hey, I don't want to have to do that on too many occasions. Have to be asked to try to beat Von Miller on a wiggle. First and 10, though. Back up tight end. O'Shaughnessy down to the 17. His second catch of the night, and it's a big one from the rookie out of Illinois State.
If you're going to blitz, of course, they're a blitzing team. Shaughnessy, number 80, going to the right. You've got to know that, and you got to play it safe on the tackle. TJ Ward was a little too aggressive, got in front, and not able to bring O'Shaughnessy down.
Picked up 30. 2 catches, 1 for 24, 1 for 30.
Yep, he overplayed it, trying to knock the football down, thinking he was going to get there on time, and was not close.
First down carry, Charles. And a lot of work there for 3 yards before he's tackled by Trevathan.
He was tackled by Danny Trevathan.
Broncos secondary. Kayvon Webster injured an ankle, and he is questionable to return. Charles with that last carry got to 100 right on the nose. 2nd and 7. Puts Josh Bush into the secondary, and it's Macklin looking to throw. Now looking to take off. Macklin speed, but unable to get around Stewart. As well as Brute.
Boy, and they caught the Broncos with their second team outside rushers, Shane Ray and Shaq Barrett. What a job. Watch up top. They stay outside. Alex Smith, when he peeled back, it still wasn't going to work. The defense all over it, following the ball. Nobody overcommitting and stopping a unique or a trick play by Andy Reid.
Loss of 3 and a timeout called by KC.
This is the first charge timeout. Kansas City, 30-second timeout.
6:40 to go. And a 3rd and 10 coming up. Again next Thursday. The Redskins and the Giants will be coming your way on Thursday Night Football. All here on CBS and NFL Network. That's next Thursday. Washington and the New York Giants. What do you think is going to happen here? 3rd down play coming up for the Chiefs, snapping it inside the red zone.
Well, everything we talked about before the game, you know, all the deception that Kansas City was going to have, it just hasn't worked out here tonight. Even when they fool the defense, the speed of the Broncos, they can recover and make the play. Here on 3rd down, I look for them to call a very safe play. If I was the Denver Broncos, stay back, make them throw it underneath, tackle them wide, make them kick a field goal or get a field goal attempt. Don't overplay and give Alex Smith a chance to throw this football in the end zone for a touchdown.
Again, they have not converted the entire game on 3rd down. Smith. That hit in a backward way, and it's intercepted by Harris, who breaks the tackle, and another one. Finally brought down by Grubbs. Alex Smith was hit when he threw it.
Well, they played a safe defense. You can do that when you have pass rushers, and it results in a turnover. Malik Jackson.
2nd red zone turnover by Kansas City tonight. Once in the red zone. They've done it twice tonight. It's Anderson. And again, nowhere to go. Mauga holds him to no gain.
Well, you know, Jim, when you got good pass rushers, they're going to fake the blitz. They're going to drop back the whole time. You can just say, we don't have to gamble. So many teams in the league have to blitz to get pressure on the quarterback. Malik Jackson that time, they have so many guys on the defensive side that can win one-on-one matchups in the pass rushing situations, and that time it was Malik Jackson.
And a big tackle by Gruggs, because that had the look of a big return.
It did.
Once Harris was able to break free from Kelsey's attempted tackle. 2nd and 10. And pass. It is complete. But Daniels is pile driven to the ground after 5. 3rd and 5 coming up. Malga again on the tackle, 2 straight.
This will be an interesting call for the Kansas City Chiefs. You're playing a field goal kicker that can kick it from a long way out. I know they're not field goal range yet, but do you take a little chance here, blitz Peyton Manning, and try to get the defense off the field by catching them off guard with the blitz?
Well, they've got a lot of defenders on the line. They back off. Here's the pass, and it's tipped. Incomplete. 2 different attempts at the pick. First it was Peters, then it was Abdullah.
Well, it was a great bluff by the defense. I thought they were going to blitz. They dropped back. How about Peters, a rookie outside? He has been not afraid, I'll say that. He is challenging the receiver no matter who it is out there. Showing why he was the #1 pick, our 1st-round draft pick in the NFL.
Boy, has he made plays in his first 2 NFL games. Including an interception return for a touchdown in tonight's 2nd quarter. So with inside of 5 minutes to go, the Chiefs are going to get the football back after forcing another 3 and out. The flag is down near the line of scrimmage.
Looks like it's going to be holding, I thought.
Holding number 30 of the kicking team. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. 1st down, Kansas City.
Sometimes there's a good penalty. Oh, yeah, Bruton inside. Grabs Frank Zombo to keep him from blocking the kick. Well, Kansas City once again, good field position. I mean, Jim, the Chiefs, if they don't win this game, I mean, they've had so many chances tonight where they've had everything going their way, field position, momentum, in a squandered, make a big mistake, call the wrong play, and of course give him credit to the Broncos hanging in there and changing their offense and finding a way to score some points.
36-yard punt plus the 10-yard mark off. Puts the ball all the way up to the 39. Surrounded by 3 Broncos this time, including Sylvester Williams.
He was going to break outside. He says, oh, I can do this, because, you know, you trust that speed. But Danny Trevathan right there came out of nowhere and made him go back inside. Broncos linebackers very fast. Hard to get outside against the speed of the linebackers.
Chiefs about 25 yards away from being in field goal position. 2nd and 9. And it's Kelsey. He has the catch, and he's got all kinds of running room down to the 27.
Almost looked like the same play that we saw to O'Shaughnessy. It's a blitz, and Bruton, number 30, kind of goes for the play, goes underneath. Again, when it's a blitz, cover your guy, protect against the run, and twice the Broncos defense has not done that.
28 yards, Smith to Kelsey.
That was also a very good throw by Alex Smith. Coverage was tight, put it right on the money.
Kelsey sits out this play. It's Charles. Nice piece of running here. Let's go down to Tracy.
That's right. And on that reception from Travis Kelsey, TJ Ward was not out there. He's been in and out the last few drives. He's dealing with cramps. And keep in mind, let's remember that he did not play a full game yet this season because he was suspended last week, Jim.
Well, when he's been in there, he's been effective.
Yes, he has. Overall tonight, he has covered Kelsey pretty well, but you got to be looking at the clock if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. find a way to grind out a first down here. You're in field goal range.
2nd and 2. And it's Charles again. What a run. He's got the first down as he shredded the Denver defense, and he's putting up big numbers tonight. Hailing from the same hometown as Wade Phillips, the coordinator is trying to stop him. Port Arthur, Texas.
Just a little trap inside. What a nice job. Ben Grubbs gets a block to the right side. And Duvernay Tardif comes across, kicks it out. And he just hops. Boy, look at Ben Grubbs just drive Sylvester Williams. No, Kilgo back away and gives Jamal Charles big space to run in.
1st and goal to go. He's got 122 on the night. Looking for more. Able to shake off a tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, the big thing is here, Gary Kubiak looking at the clock, has 2 timeouts left and a 2-minute warning.
So the Broncos elect to take a timeout here on the north side of the 2-minute mark.
Good timeout. 2:32. So that was a good timeout to save it, put it in the hands of your quarterback, let him deal with the clock, and not let Kansas City take it down.
Coming up after the game, it's the Mazda post-game show. Interviews and analysis of tonight's game. This marks the 4th red zone visit of the evening by Kansas City. So far in the first 3 trips, 3 points and 2 giveaways. So the Broncos down to 1 timeout.
Well, a couple ways to play this. I would think Gary Kubiak, if they run the football, is going to call a timeout immediately. That would be their last timeout. Then the 2-minute warning, that would give Peyton Manning, if you hold him to a field goal, enough time to drive his team in field goal position.
2nd and goal. It's Niall Davis. Niall Davis to the end zone for the touchdown.
Alex Smith almost falls down. Dangerous handoff, but boy, look at this side. DeMarcus Ware up the field. Everybody else goes inside, so there is nobody there to block.
He got tripped up trying to come back out of center, but it's an 8-yard untouched touchdown scamper by Niall Davis. No mistake in the red zone on this occasion on Red Thursday in Kansas City. Extra point again this year from 33 yards out. Look at Bruton go over the top.
He used one of the players. I think he used.
And they got a flag for that.
Player and jumped. He launched himself.
And that's not legal. There's a flag on the field for it.
But they caught the Broncos in a blitz on Niall Davis's touchdown run.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, keeping number 30, Denver. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Let's bring in Mike Carey, and Mike, take us through this.
Well, your watch on the punt. The number 30 tries to jump over, but lands on players. That's a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct.
You know, he actually didn't launch himself off of anyone. He just actually leaped right over the snapper.
He tried to go over, but he got his legs caught on top of the snapper.
And that rule is being really emphasized now to try to cut down on injuries.
Correct. That's one of those safety rules, and it's one that's very good, prolongs the careers of the players.
That means the Chiefs will be kicking off from the 50. They mark off the 15 yards.
I always think, well, first off, what a drive by the Chiefs to get the touchdown. They beat the blitz twice, once with the pass, once in the run. Why don't they kick it to get them inside the 20? But most coaches say to heck with it, kick it right out of the end zone, make them start for the 20.
Santos. Nothing fancy with this. Kansas City happy to have this drive for Denver begin at the 20.
Let's see what happens. Watch 94, DeMarcus Ware goes to the outside. Look at the blocks down inside. That's Grubbs against Darian Stewart, a safety. He seals it, and there's nobody for Stevenson to even block. Well, Peyton Manning, plenty of time. 2-minute warning, 1 timeout. Been in this situation hundreds of times in his career.
His pass on the money for Thomas. Picks up 22.
Crossers underneath. Everybody's chasing underneath, and that leaves a big void behind the linebackers, and Peyton Manning throws it in there perfectly.
That is the longest play of the first 2 games of the season for Denver. 22 yards. Manning's throw this time out of reach at the 2-minute warning. That was intended for Daniels. Broncos will have 1 timeout to operate with for these last 2 minutes. We are back with 2 minutes remaining.
If I was Kansas City on the defensive side, I would not blitz. I would play safe, make him throw it short, and put the pressure on your pass rushers to find a way to get to Peyton Manning.
2nd and 10. Manning on the field. What a catch. It's Thomas. It was pretty tight coverage, but the pass was perfect. Fleming on the coverage. Thomas grabs it.
Well, you know, listen, you've got one of the biggest, strongest receivers in the NFL. Throws it behind him, good throw, go up and snaps that football out of the air. Nice throw by Peyton Manning.
Now at the Chiefs, 42. He's got Anderson for very little. Wrapped up by Derek Johnson.
That's exactly what you wanted to do. Stay back, make him throw it. They collapse the pocket a little bit, and Derek Johnson comes up and makes the tackle. Don't let him get the extra yards after the catch.
And you don't take your last remaining timeout here. Broncos 2nd and 8. Runs it. Is there contact? No flag. Now here comes the flag. He was looking for Sanders.
Sanders was not looking for the football. Did look like there was contact, though.
There is no foul for pass interference. 2nd down. Correction, 3rd down. 3rd down.
Mike Carey, what was it? Uncatchable because they threw the flag. I thought on Peters.
No, I'll tell you, it's a tight one, but I think that's one of those that you want to leave that flag down. You had contact, the ball was catchable in my opinion.
I think you're right.
Sure looked like it. 3rd and 8. By the Broncos. Thomas, who out-battled the rookie for the football.
He out-positioned him. He turned just like you box out a rebounder in a basketball game, and Peters is just not big enough to get around Demaryius Thomas to knock it down.
Thomas now 8 catches, 116 yards. Manning in the direction of Sanders. Incomplete.
Boy, what keeps this drive going? Watch Demaryius Thomas. Oh my gosh, he's got him boxed out the whole way. You can see Marcus Peters saw the football, but he couldn't find a way to get around him to knock it down.
Demaryius has 54 yards on this drive alone. And again, over 100 for the night. 2nd and 10 with 53 seconds remaining. Pressure and out of reach for Jordan Norwood.
Abdullah, the safety, comes on a blitz off the slot. They see it, but then they let the other defender, Abdullah, come free. That was Phillip Gaines off the slot.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Oh, there was a flag for holding on the far side. Defensive holding call on Fleming. And instead of it being 3rd and 10, the Broncos have a new set of downs at the 19.
Top of the screen. It's a good call.
Here's Manning's pass. Off the knee, it looked like, of Caldwell.
Manning's pass intended for Andre Caldwell.
Oh, he had what he wanted. He had a corner outside with Caldwell coming inside, but he needed just a little bit more on the football to get it there. Top of your screen, number 12.
Houston got a hit on Manning.
Good recovery by Fleming, too.
45 seconds. 4 on the down clock. Down the field and off the fingertips of Norwood, who had a play on that football.
One of their favorite plays, they run a pick on the outside, and it's just slightly overthrown by Peyton Manning. The outside receiver came inside. They caused a little traffic jam. Oh, man, look how close it was on pylon camera.
Again, the Mazda postgame show after the game with all the interviews and analysis of this opening Thursday night thriller on CBS and NFL Network. Peters, the rookie, is on Thomas on the near side, and we've got a timeout called by Kansas City, leaving the Chiefs with 1.
That last play we saw where he just missed it, that was a play, Jim, one of their specialties over the years. He has hit that so many times for a touchdown. And even though the Chiefs had off coverage, they still got Norwood in a position where they could have, a perfect throw would have been a touchdown. It's a good timeout by the Chiefs. Let the defense rest. Let those pass rushers get ready to put pressure one more time. Look how close that is.
Should that have been caught?
You know, the old theory, oh, his hands touch it, you catch it. No, I think it was just out of his reach. It'd have been a spectacular catch if he made it.
Norwood only 5'11". Here we go with 3rd down coming up. Manning across the middle. He's there for the touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders. And of course, the PAT is no longer automatic, but they'll try it from 33 yards to tie the game.
Almost the same concept that they had a couple plays before. They caught him in a defense. The corner's playing outside, Fleming. In top of your screen. Oh, the little stutter post, that's what it was. Before we saw a little out move and inside, but this time that little stutter made Fleming hesitate, and a perfect throw by Peyton Manning.
A beautiful tight spiral by Manning. And here comes the point after, dead center. And the game is tied. And guess what? It was Manning to Sanders on 3rd down again.
What a drive, some really timely throws. But this reminds me of the Broncos of last year, where they have all these plays that they run at you and you just can't keep up with them. They picking you, they're doing this, the screens, and that little stutter on the outside, that double move, very clever and extremely well done by Sanders.
The Broncos drive 80 yards in 10 plays in 1 minute and 51 seconds. And for the second time tonight, it's Manning to Emmanuel on a 3rd down play to the end zone. And now the Chiefs, with 36 seconds to go in regulation, have 1 timeout remaining.
Tell you what could happen. You look at this team. The Broncos, as they throw the football, you got Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders out there. You can't double them both. And they're both #1 receivers, Jim. You know, whatever you want to say, the guy, the football, where you want to throw them as much as you can. Most teams just have one. This Bronco team, they have 2 big-time #1 receivers.
And they became, just last season, the 5th tandem in NFL history to have both wideouts over 100 receptions in a season.
So when this is over, no matter what happens now, the Denver Broncos, as they go home and they rethink what they're going to be and what they're going to do, what would be your answer, Jim Nantz?
I think it goes back to looking a lot like what they did last year.
They wear you out. Some teams wear you down by running the football. He just keeps throwing it. There was no pass rush really on him that whole drive. He got time to see it, and they set you up with all these moves and the variety of plays, and it really came through for him.
What do you think Kansas City will do here with the timeout and starting at the 20?
I just got a feeling they're going to be a little more careful than they were in that drive before the half. What do you think? I mean, that's what they're going to do. I don't know if you take a knee, maybe you get in the shotgun, you run a draw, you hope somebody, Jamal Charles, can break a run and get you some yards, or you could take a couple throws, but you got to be extremely careful first. It looks like they're going to throw it.
Yeah, out of the gun. 3 wides.
Oh, it's down.
Ball is out. It is picked up by the Broncos. Roby. It is in the end zone for an unbelievable touchdown. A flag is out at the line of scrimmage. Darian Stewart knocked it out of Charles' hands.
There was no flag on the play. No foul.
Oh, my
goodness.
goodness.
On the field is a fumble recovered by Denver. Touchdown.
The man who saved the game last Sunday, Stewart, the former Raven, knocked it loose. And Roby, the #1 pick a year ago for the Broncos, scooped it up and took it to the house. No question, it's out.
Brandon Marshall, the linebacker.
It was Marshall. There was Stewart who made the contact, but it's Marshall who reaches around and just pops it out. Charles' second fumble lost tonight.
This will be a training reel for all teams. You know, instead of just, you say, well, let's just run it in case or whatever. The chances of something happening there is so slim, but that's what can happen to you instead of just kneeling on the football.
A training reel and a train wreck is what we've just watched.
Yeah, you're right. You never, well, this is a great job. Hustling defense. Watch Brandon Marshall reaches in there. You know, the NFL players are so unbelievable now. Everybody knows how to reach in, punch the football, knock it out, and what a change. How about going back to when it was 14-0, the look on Peyton Manning's face to what we see now? And this whole Broncos team.
Everything's completely different.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's fumble, recovery, touchdown.
Plays in situations, easy for us to say, that are going to be second-guessed so much about what Andy Reid did at the end of the first half and here at the second half.
Jamal Charles, remember, he fumbled in the first quarter, down deep with the Chiefs, threatening to go in. Now he goes in what very likely will be the difference in this game.
Yeah, it's tough.
At least he held onto the helmet.
I'll tell you what we saw too, though. This will make your, first off, this is going to be a devastating defeat for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, beyond that.
This is, you know, you think about early season games that you have a hard time
Overcoming.
shaking, like the Giants.
Yes.
And now this one for the Chiefs. You got a 14-point lead at home. You got the Broncos on the ropes. You got a fading confidence level on that entire Bronco offense.
Well, it kind of shows you, which we knew, the Broncos, they're a dangerous team on both sides of the ball. We really thought their defense, I think it's going to be spectacular this year. But they fight. And we kind of talked about Peyton. He just keeps coming at you. He keeps coming. He's not afraid that things went bad. I'll never forget that he was playing a Monday night game in Denver. He threw in San Diego. He threw 5 interceptions, 6 for the night at the end. He just kept throwing that football, trying to win the game.
Remember, the Broncos just last Sunday won on a defensive touchdown by Aqib Talib. And now they are 27 seconds away from a defensive touchdown, winning it again for them. This time, Bradley Roby. Number 29 taking it 29 yards on the return.
You finally think you're in position to maybe overtake this Broncos team. That's what they've just been so overpowering the last couple years.
When the Chiefs pull off a miracle, it's Smith. Remember, they have only one timeout left, and he's crossed the 30. And they're going to have to take it here. Peyton Manning, 26 of 45, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But that's 3 touchdowns after he threw the pick. And he looked, as the game went on,
yes,
he got strong.
He definitely got better. He got his rhythm. He got his legs under him. And like I said, they don't wear you down with the run. In the past, they have it. They do it with the pass. And this was some statement game by Peyton Manning. Give him a lot of credit. He hung in there. It looked like it was just going to be a horrible night. I actually was sitting here thinking, this is going to just explode.
It could have been.
Against the Denver Broncos, and they hung in there. He made some really big throws on that first touchdown drive. They picked up the blitzes.
Smith, they're all over him. And they may not even have a chance to reset.
Malik Jackson back there.
Wade Phillips, what a difference he's made. His defense winning it the last 2 weeks. This game is over. This crowd cannot believe it. Nor can we.
Some gut check by the Broncos, and they come through.
2 touchdowns in a 9-second span. Look at Owen Daniels getting one more clean hit on Peyton Manning tonight.
Yeah, that's got to be. I mean, we met Peyton last night. We talked. I'm not going to say I saw the doubt in his face, nothing like that. But he thought they were going to come out here, control the ball, run it. And look what it turns into. And, man, that's got to be some confidence builder, even for Peyton Manning after all his great success in the NFL.
And they've got the record now for 13 consecutive road wins inside the division. Bettering the feat that it first belonged to the 49ers back 87 through 90 that went from Walsh through Seifert's teams. Gary Kubiak now 2-0 as the head coach. And no one saw this finish coming. Peyton comes over and high fives the defensive coordinator. Yeah, the whole lot learned in this one tonight. The Broncos defense is pretty remarkable, and Peyton Manning is far from finished.
What we start the game out with, there's a lot of questions out there. And, you know, look, I'm no different than anybody else that sits there and go, oh boy, I'm one of those. Last year when Tom Brady was here and he lost, I said, well, maybe this is the end of this run by the New England Patriots.
I always got back to that second game that Peyton played as a Bronco at Atlanta, and they had 3 first-half picks, and people were starting to kind of whisper the same things they were these last couple of weeks. But the legend of Manning is living on. Let's go down to Tracy.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim. I think the look on your face as you walked over here says it all. Tell us what's going through your mind after what took place tonight.
I'm not sure I've ever been in one quite like that, and I'm curious if Nance or Sims have seen one like that either. That was a new one for me, and it was tough all night. They're good. I tell you, their defense is so much better than last year. They're so stout against the run. They just make it hard all night, and so we just kept plugging. And got a couple at the end of the first half, and then the third quarter kind of just struggled and got one field goal. But obviously, when we had to have it, our defense kept us in it. With some turnovers and holding them to some field goals. And that last drive was really good. Really proud of our young offensive line. No poise issues, no communication issues, and DT made a couple of awesome plays and then finally got Emmanuel in the end zone.
And you mentioned your defense for the second straight game being able to seal the victory. What can you say about their performance?
Oh, yeah, I mean, just the superlatives just go on and on. They're playing great team defense. Everybody's kind of doing their part, right? They're getting sacks, they're getting tipped balls, they're getting pressure on the quarterback, leading to bad throws, and that's the sign of a good defense. And offensively, we're just going to keep plugging, keep sawing wood, and obviously that last drive, 2 weeks in a row we've had 2 final drives that sure have kind of put a stamp on the whole game, and I think we can build off of that.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Okay, thanks, Trace.
I've watched Peyton Manning. He's won a lot of games. I think that's the happiest I've ever seen him after a game in his career. That was something special to watch.
He hasn't smiled like that in a football atmosphere since last mid-November.